So this tutorial is going to show you how to make a super comfy cozy blanket for a doll. What you will need is needle and thread, sewing machine, scissors, fabric. You can use multiple colors, but the most basic you'll need is 2 different types of fabric. You'll need one fabric for the underside and one fabric for the top. In my case, I'm using 3 different kinds of fabric. I'm using white for the bottom, and then this very bright fuchsia and this lavender color for the top. You'll also need a doll to help size. First step is you're going to cut out the fabric for the bottom of your blanket, which is going to be, in my case, all white. And all I did was I laid out my fabric and I cut a square that was larger than my doll. My fabric is about 16 inches wide, so 16 inches this way, and about 22 inches going this way. And I make it slightly bigger than I want the finished product to be. And so I've got the white fabric all cut out, and now I'm going to begin with the top portion, which I am going to need this fabric for. I'm just going to start cutting out strips of the fabric. I'm going to do this as a stripe blanket, so I'm just going to cut out stripes of the fuchsia color and stripes of the lavender color. And I'm going to try to keep them the same width all the way. I'm using an old shirt for this. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the lavender. I'm going to cut out strips. So what I've done here is I've laid out all the stripes that I've cut out, kind of like I'm going to sew them. And underneath I've got the white fabric, and that's just to make sure that I have enough stripes to cover the white fabric. I have them overlapped to allot for seam allowance, and so now I'm just going to start sewing these color pieces together. So I just sewed the first 2 pieces together, and what I did was I put them good side to good side, so I've got the bad sides on the outside, sewed them together just right along the top here, and now if I open them up, you can see you've got a nice seam all the way down. And the sizes of the length of them is a little bit different, but I know that both pieces will fully cover my white fabric. I've just got a little extra of the fuchsia, so I'm just trying to keep it mostly one-sided, so that way when I have to cut the extra off, it's all going to be on this side. So now what I'm going to do is move up to the next piece, my good side, which now has 2 pieces, and I'm going to lay the good side of this to the good side of this. I'm going to line them up over here, and then I'm going to sew them together. And you're just going to continue doing that process with each piece, alternating in color. Okay, so all finished sewing. Got all the stripes together, and as you can see, one end is kind of crazy looking, big pieces, little pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off some of the really long ones, make it somewhat more even. Okay, So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your striped fabric, take your good side, lay the good side of your bottom fabric towards the good side of the striped or whatever pattern you decided to do. And you're going to sew all the way around except for a very small portion towards like one of the edges. As you can see, I have finished sewing. I left an open area, about 3 badly painted fingers, 4 badly painted fingers wide. Then I sewed all the way around the edge. And so now I am going to flip it right side out. So to do this, you just reach in, grab some of the fabric from the back, and pull. And push and shove. Okay, and so now we still have that one little open area. I'm going to fold it over and then just sew over top of it with my sewing machine. Finished product. See it with the doll. As you can see, the finished product is just a little bit bigger than the doll. And the back side is white, so you can turn it over. You could also use like a pattern fabric on the other side, so you could have like a double-sided blanket. So I also have made a couple variations. This one here, I spent a little bit more time spacing out the stripes on this one than I did in the one that I've shown you. This is just red and black with a white back. And then I tried to get fancy with the next one, and it kind of went right back in my face. So I am obviously not a good quilter. This pattern turned out horribly. And so that is my tutorial on how to make a blanket for an 18-inch doll. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you around.